Hello, welcome to the Steam Release Podcast. I am your host, Dewey Bear, and joining me today, as always, is a little bit manlier today, Rody Pie. Welcome.
Hello.
It annoys me that your beard's nicer than mine.
Well, in these winter nights, I gotta keep myself warm. Keep myself warm somehow.
Oh my gosh. Yep, so the filter extravaganza continues.
Oh my god. And it will do for a couple more weeks.
Yep. Alrighty. So, well, we had a pretty great week this week, at least I did personally. Well, besides all the time that I wasn't working, this week was fantastic. Work was kind of hell, but outside of work, I actually got some really cool games played. So I guess that's our next section is what have y'all been playing this week? And of course, folks in the chat, let us know what you've been playing this week as well. But Rody, what's your list this week?
So, I finally picked. I made the dive. I got the Xbox Pass, and I picked up Unpacking, and it was good. It was good. I really enjoyed it, and yes, it definitely isn't worth the $15 or £15.
Yeah, £15, $20. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's not long enough. It definitely isn't long enough. You just and there are certain things that are a little bit frustrating because it's either like there is like you don't know what some of the items are.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not very clear, or you don't know like it's like, what the hell is this? Where am I supposed to put this? And to be honest, sometimes when I have the places I was just staying, it just looked like I just shoved everything. Just like, yeah, this'll do. This'll do. This'll go here. Whatever. and then when you don't get called out for it, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, my place just looks like an absolute dumpster fire, but it's fine. Everything is kind of put away. It's fine. And the story is there's kind of a hint of a narrative going through it. This sort of nice, gentle narrative, and it's quite lovely. And there are sort of like little achievements that you can do as well. So like. I don't want to kind of spoil it for anyone, so yeah, skip this bit if you don't want to be spoiled. It's just a very thing. So,
alright, so I'll put the spoiler thumb, I'll put the thumbs up until the spoilers are done.
So yeah, it's like if you flush every toilet in every single scenario, you get a little achievement.
Okay. My word. Is that like a Duke Nukem reference?
I've no idea of the reference, but yeah, it's a nice little game. Because while I was playing it, I did think, maybe I'll go back and do some achievement hunting. But now it's all over and everything. It's like, no, I can't be arsed.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wish there was another story to it instead, or like someone else's life that we were unpacking, or there was, I don't know, a bit more going on. I don't know what else I would want from this. I just feel it needs to be a little bit more.
They have established quite a format though here, so it wouldn't be. Yes, there would be a lot of artwork and some design work to do, but the base is all there. It wouldn't be an unreasonable amount of additional work to do kind of additional storylines and additional levels and stuff.
The thing is, because you're unpacking one person's life, a lot of the stuff they're carrying with them. So you see a lot of the same, assets, a lot of the same items. So yeah, it wasn't so difficult. And then they would just add things on pretty much. But yeah, it's I don't know, it's just a shame. It's just a shame. But I did notice while I was looking through that Xbox library or the Game Pass, there is Moonglow Bay on there, and I'm thinking of giving that a go, because that is another one that is criminally overcharged on Steam. That's on my wish list, and it's like 20 quid. It's exactly, it's not for everyone, and so it's like, it seems like one to definitely play through Game Pass. I do recommend Game Pass for people who are a bit on the fence about it, because it's like it's you just go in for the, like, you pay a quid or something, and then you have this library to all these games that may be too expensive on the Steam.
Yeah, and it works on PC, so like all Xbox games are PC games. It's a great system.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of like picking up playing Moonglow at some point. I didn't get round to it this week. I did, however, play more Let's Build a Zoo, as we discovered the previous week. Straight afterwards, when we were watching, someone could find the pause button. I don't know why they put it where they put it.
Yeah.
But I built more because one of the things it asks you to do is to find like the genomes of all like the animals of the different varieties of a particular species. So I was trying to get like all 10 genomes of the rabbits. So I built like lots of nurseries, and oh my god, and I still haven't gotten there. It's so difficult to do, because there's only like a certain percentage like you can get a particular variety of, and it's just, oh my god, it's so maddening. And of course I've had to build like a bigger pen for like all the failed experiments. But I also got this thing where you can like let them go back into the wild, and it's just like, I'd get those 10 rabbits, they're all like all the same. Yes, to get rid of those ones. And of course, you're doing a good thing. You get the good moral points. So still making a profit, surprisingly, because I haven't really added like any sort of money making scheme thing. You can easily just like when it gives you an alert saying your tickets are too low priced, it will let you know. It will let you know, say you're not charging enough, and it's like, oh, okay, just like put an extra $1 on or whatever, which is surprising. It's surprising it does that, but it's good, because it means that I can just potter around and adjust certain things. But yeah, still having fun. I have to say, though, the music is just really weird. The music that they put to it, there's like all these different tracks. It kind of sounds like it should belong to kind of a futuristic space thing, rather than like a zoo. It's really weird. It's
maybe
it's like
it fits better when you do the evil path.
Yeah, it's like this like evil synth kind of thing. Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah, it should. It seems like it should have a soundtrack similar to Stardew Valley, when you're, everything's green and happy. Do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like when you hit a certain points in morality, then it should kind of like decide what music you're gonna have.
Yeah, dystopian techno at a certain point.
Yeah, exactly. And also, so the last thing that I played, I'm very like pat myself on the back that I finally finished the MSQ of Final Fantasy XIV. Finally finished it. Finally. That last fight, I was like, one of the fights was a little bit of a head scratch, and it was like, oh yeah, that's what I've got to do. Oh, okay, yeah. And it was fine. I didn't get too frustrated with it, because you know when you do the kind of those solo big fights, they are so frustrating for me, because it's normally you have to like time them quite well, or you just have to be like completely on top of the boss. And I play a summoner, so like casting spells and everything like that, it's very difficult to like sort of like be on top of the boss with, you know, without getting squished basically. So it's always like quite difficult. But yeah, it was interesting where they're taking the story, and I'm kind of looking forward to the expansion because I want to see where it goes. But I wouldn't say I'm as hyped as I was about Shadowbringers. I think Shadowbringers I felt more hype about. But you know, we'll see.
I'm actually in the same boat there, because like with Shadowbringers, I felt like I just had a great meal. And though I still want more, I was almost like, you know what? I'm happy. If it ended here, I'm happy. I really liked how it ended. Just like that's a nice ending. And I am interested because they are intending to do a proper wrap up of all the loose threads with this next one. But you know what? I did feel like I got a good meal. And Endwalker, I'm just like, I don't know. It feels like it's going to be a second Stormblood. Maybe better. Probably better. But it does kind of feel like we're going to be in all these different places that are far apart. And we're going to have to be reintroduced to all these different or introduced to a bunch of new characters. And I feel like it might have that same kind of lack of focus. That's probably building up to something amazing for the next expansion. But, you know, that's what I probably feel like this next expansion is kind of going to be. I'm hoping it is amazing, but, you know, I'm keeping my expectations low so I can't be disappointed.
Yeah. Me and my friends, I think I'm gonna find out when they're free, and we're just gonna do like the raid content, and then, you know, and any other sort of like dungeons that I might have missed as well, because they usually have like the odd story one, don't they? After that, so yeah, I'll probably pick up those to do, and yeah, then that'll be it. Then so I am very glad it's kind of been delayed an extra 2 weeks, so I get to finish everything else.
Yeah. The Eden raid story is very good, so do recommend checking that out. But yeah, awesome. Any other games?
No, that was it. That was it.
Well, so I picked up and played, because I've been trying to play more 2021 games, and so I played Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. So first of all, I do feel like this lands in a little bit of the same place as I had to keep myself from saying it, but unpacking, in that I don't know if it's worth the full price, but granted, the full price for this is like $15, so it's like 12 UK. Yeah, I don't think it's worth the full price necessarily. It took me about 3 hours to beat it. And now, granted, I'll premise it, since its release, there's been 2 major free DLCs that have been put out, and I haven't touched that content yet. Like there's an unlimited dungeon and like a roguelike mode, like just 2 separate little things that you can do. That again, from what I've heard from the reviews, you know, will give you an extra like hour and a half, 2 hours of content. But I've finished the story, and it was really fun. I like how it has this really cute, innocent kind of look, but it is telling kind of a harrowing, sad story in the background, but in a really lighthearted tone. So there's all, of course, the vegetable puns, as expected. There's all these, like, really weird jokes that they kind of set up. They never really had a punchline, but it's just like wink and nod, like, we're being funny. We're being funny here. Kind of like that. And overall, excellent game. I liked it a lot. I think I especially liked it because I got it in a Humble Bundle, and I didn't pay $15 for it. I would say $7 or $8. I would have been perfectly happy with that cost. So,
yeah, I get that criticism that it's like, even though it's got that DLC, it's not an extra story, which is kind of like what you know, kind of what you want. It's like, well, I don't want like endless dungeon, or I don't want this. I want more of the story. I want to, you know, see what this character's doing, or him and his friends or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's yeah, I get that.
Mm-hmm. And at least an hour of those 3 hours was spent just reading the text. So for people who jump in games and just want to play the game, which the gameplay is fine, and like it could stand alone without the story, but if for people who don't really read text or read very quickly, like there's people who finish this in an hour and a half. So
oh, it's even worse.
Yeah,
Even worse.
Yeah, but it is super cute. It's so endearing. I love it. It's just a turnip running around and doing a lot of crimes, and it's so cute. So yeah, I really like it. And there's just this wide variety of characters you run across, each with their own quirks and backstory. They gradually uncover as you go through the game. So really like it. Yep, Turnip Boy. Besides that, I've been playing, so on the opposite end, a game that I feel like is more than worth its cost is Pathway. This game released back in 2019, and of course I talked about it earlier, but it's released to very mixed reviews. I believe this was kickstarted, but it released to very mixed reviews. And since then, it's climbed up to mostly positive, and I would say it very much deserves it. I don't know what the state was like when it was just released, so those mixed reviews are probably deserved. But how it is now, it's a very good game. I'm actually achievement hunting at this point, so I got to the last level and died. And at that point, I was like, okay, I'm going to start over and level up my characters, because you're kind of supposed to play through this game multiple times, because there's all these side stories that you unlock as you go. And so you want to run with, and you unlock new characters. And so you want to run it again with those new characters as well. So that's what I'm doing. And unlocking as many side stories. And I'm like at 41% of achievements now. And it's just, it's fun. It's really fun. I'm enjoying the achievement hunting in this game. So I think I got to the last level and died right before I think the last boss at 9 hours. So, if I was get good, I probably would have finished this game in 9 hours. But now I'm at 13 hours and I'm not anywhere close to stopping playing this game. So it's good.
Yeah, definitely getting your money's worth, and I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, it's very fun. They also make it heavily customizable for how difficult you want it. So this next run through, I'm playing with more enemies. I initially started out with few enemies, and now I'm doing the standard enemy amount. But I'm still doing like the extra supplies. But they've got all these little dials that you can adjust to kind of gear your own experience. And of course, the more difficult you make it, the more rewards you get. So you're gonna have like faster progression and get better drops and stuff. But yeah, so Pathway, it only costs $15, $16. It's $15.99. And I think it's worth every penny. At least because I think, judging by how long it's taking me to get the achievements, I think I'm probably going to put at least 30 hours into this game.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
Pathway. So yeah, excellent game. Don't let its poor launch influence you. It's a great game now. What else did I play? I think that's it. I think that is it. So yeah, Pathway and... Oh, no, I did. 4 Travelers. I played one other game. 4 Travelers.
Oh, is that point-and-click game?
Yes.
Yeah, that's also on my wish list. And I caught a little bit of Twitch play that Sincerely Day was doing. It looked super interesting, and I loved the mechanics, the puzzles. But yeah, sorry, tell me what you thought of it.
Oh yeah, well, for point and click, I feel like it's mostly cutscenes where it's like mostly trying to tell a story, so it's a lot of text. There's occasionally a puzzle, and there's some branching. I don't think it affects the narratives too much, but it can affect some of the conversation branching. There's some of that. And it's overall, there's always this kind of like sense of like, oh, something really wrong is going to end up happening. Like, so there's always this intensity, but it's not really a horror game. It's dark. They describe it as dark, and that's true. It's kind of, I don't think any of the stories, because I've finished one and I was in the middle of the second one yesterday, so I need to continue it. But I don't think any of these are gonna be happy endings. But it's free. It's very. I like the period setting. The music is really good. The dialogue is written really well, so they've got a decent writer. None of it came off as like unnatural. So I've quite liked it, and just the pixel art is perfection. So yeah, so it's by Dead Idle Games. If on a Winter's Night, I am curious if they're going to be doing a full game sometime. But at least for now, this is kind of, I would guess, a portfolio sort of, and you can buy the supporters pack for them to help, basically as a tip. But it's it's interesting. It does deal with a lot of like. Do they have like a disclaimer about like what? Yeah. It does deal with like quite a lot of heavy topics. So go down and read what those topics are probably before you jump in. Just so you're kind of informed of what the topic's going to be. So yeah, that was what I played.
The pixel art is really, really great in this, and especially for a free game as well. It's really, really great.
Yep. So with that, we're on to our catch-up list. We got to do a bit more of a catch-up list this week because it was kind of a quiet week for releases in this. What is this? The third week of November now. So it was just kind of a quiet week for releases, which is good. But starting off, we have Catchup from May 26th, Sumire.
One Day, One Life. Sumire is a magical narrative adventure about choices made and dreams lost and found. Embark on a mysterious journey to help Sumire achieve her deepest wishes before the day ends and the sky turns to twilight.
This seems like just a moe blob with a sad tone. It's like, it's so cute and so sad. So melancholy.
I like the artwork, but I don't like the animation.
Yeah, it's kind of that kind of like paper or puppet animation going on. Or like a lot of Flash games use this animation style.
Yeah. It's super cute though.
It is very cute.
And there's a demo as well, a free demo. And it is currently standing at 97% positive with 90 user reviews, but more recently standing at 93% positive with 15 users.
I'm seeing most of the reviews sitting... So most of the median review seems to be 3 or 4 hours of gameplay. There are some people who have longer, which I'm not sure if they just spent more time like clicking around or something, but the most common thing seems to be 3 to 4 hours. And it's about $15, $14.99 USD right now. So I'm glad they have a demo though. That helps.
Yeah, it's £11.39.
Yep, so that is Sumire, developed by Game Tomo team, and they are a company based out of Tokyo, Japan. Following that, MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries.
The year is 3015. The battlefields are dominated by war machines known as battle mechs. Level entire cities and decimate the enemies in your battle mech. Sorry, my words were today. Sorry. Level entire cities and decimate the enemy in your battle mech. Follow a quest for glory and revenge. Manage an expand mercenary company. Fight alongside your friends with a 4-player PvE co-op.
This is a really old franchise, but it seems to largely have been handed over to smaller developers nowadays. Well, let me see. Piranha Games. I'm trying to remember if this is the right one. Okay, I don't think Piranha Games is super small, but it is. It's not it's probably AA. I would probably say this is a AA, but it used to be kind of a more of a bigger game, although a little bit niche because people would get these whole huge MechWarrior setups, all the rest. But it's I'm glad that it's come back for another installment.
You're seeing some of the criticisms. So they've got this game alongside a friend with the intention to play the multiplayer, but a few problems popped up. A, you have to be more than 2 hours in to unlock multiplayer in the first place, thus preventing the acquisition of a refund. B, people who join don't bring their own pilots and or mechs. They have to select from your available mechs and pilots. C, if they get destroyed while doing a mission, they could potentially cost you valuable gear and mechs as well as the pilot. Yeesh.
Oh, so it punishes you for having a friend play with you. That's not
pretty
good.
Much.
Ooh, so I understand why some games design based like don't let you access the multiplayer early on. I get where the designers are thinking, but they're wrong. If you have multiplayer, the Guild Wars 1 did a really good job about this, that Guild Wars 2 did not. Well, no, actually with Guild Wars 2, you get in, and I think by level 10 you can get into PvP, but with you could create a PvP character just straight up, and if people were interested in playing the PvP, they didn't have to do any of the story. It's just like, cool, I'm in PvP now. They could create a character in PvP, and it's just... Wait, why are you putting down these barriers to multiplayers? I don't know why so many developers do this. Because it's an easy way to get more sales if you have like, oh, let's play multiplayer. So 2 friends buy the game, and then there's nothing more annoying when it's like, oh crap, well, I guess we'll play together in 2 hours and have to we got a weekend together, so now we've got to figure out when the next weekend we're gonna have together to play. It's disappointing.
Yeah. It's a shame, but it's standing at overall very positive at 82%, with nearly 3,000 user reviews, and recently it's standing at 79% positive with 239 user reviews, and it is $24.99.
Yep, $29.99 USD. All right, on to Pecaminosa, a pixel noir game.
Let's see. Pecaminosa is a police action RPG in which you embody a disgraced detective on the strangest case of his career, helping the ghost of a dead mobster in his aim to wash away his sins and reach for heaven. Grab your gun, hit the streets, and do what you do best: investigate and interact with the scum. The scum.
I do really like the premise. Unfortunately, it seems to be mixed right now. 40% positive. Oh no.
Wow. It does look really rough, though, I have to say. It doesn't look... I'm just looking at the screenshots here. It looks super rough. And it's really dark as well on a lot of the screens. I can't really make out a lot.
Yeah. They have some good texture here and there, but in a lot of places it's just a flat color, and it's really disappointing because clearly I think had this been put in the oven for a bit longer, it could have really been very impressive. But it's that's just unfortunate because they clearly have some talent when it comes to pixel art. Let me see, what were other criticisms that we're seeing?
So it's the most terrible final bosses. Oof.
Yeah, so the boss fights begin very nice. However, towards the end, they get ridiculously hard. Like, oh, my character is weak type of hard, but more like, let's spoil the game for the player exactly at this point type hard. Yeah, so a decent game that gives you whiplash at about the halfway mark and has one of the most terrible final bosses I've ever personally seen, or I should say almost saw. The screen shakes was so atrocious during the final boss that I could barely see what's happening, and there's no way to disable. Ooh. Yeah, so kudos to the developer for really pursuing a vision, but it seems like maybe
bad design.
Yeah.
Just some really bad design.
Yep. So, but yeah, Pecaminosa, some folks did find it quite interesting. There's definitely good aspects to it, but it seems kind of partially baked.
Yeah. And it's £11.39.
Yep, $14.99 USD. Onwards to Wild Dive.
Reach the highest score by dodging obstacles, leaping across ravines, sliding down slopes, etc. Watch your step.
So this is, let me see. So this is just, this is one of those runner/slide games. Yeah, okay. All right. I understand it. So it's developed for free by Objective 3D, a small company from Montpellier, France. Is this a school game? Because it's free. I don't know why.
It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't look like super great. Sorry,
yeah. It doesn't look amazing, but okay. All the games from Objective 3D are free, so that makes me think this is probably a school. So it's probably a student game. And for a student game, it's pretty good. The color theory and the textures are and not
the blur
great.
is a bit not great either.
But I have seen worse 3D art. I've definitely seen worse. But yeah, it has a style, and it does actually look pretty fun, especially as a free game. There's no harm in hopping on. But yeah.
It's standing at 90% positive with 259 user reviews. More recently, 90% positive with 10 user reviews. So yeah.
Wild Dive. So if you're into those running, I forget what the genre's called, but it's just like, I don't know.
Endless runners?
Maybe it's, endless runners. So this might be one just to hop in and not have to spend any money. Following that, Weaving Tides.
Dive into a magical woven world on the back of your own carpet dragon. Explore the textile landscape, solve puzzles, challenge quirky creatures, and unravel the great mysteries of a long-forgotten past in Weaving Tides.
This game made such an impact when it launched. Well, at least among like the indie YouTuber sphere. So a lot of people talked about it. Just like, oh, it looks so pretty. It's unfortunate it's only gotten 27 reviews, but this looks great.
I'm not surprising, especially as it's been talked up quite a lot as well among the indies. So, yeah, I'm surprised, but yeah, it's got really nice, like its own style of artwork. I really quite like that.
Yeah,
so what do you have to do in it exactly?
Well, I've been trying to look at the various ones. So some levels you have to draw a design. Other levels there are there's a lot. It's mostly kind of like puzzles. So you're figuring out a puzzle and like you got to mend holes in the fabric of the world kind of thing. So you then like weave them around, and then there's also boss fights. So it's it's a kind of a fully fledged action RPG, I guess, with some interesting mechanics on the side. So
okay, I wondered if like some people, because it sounds like it's got a lot of different elements in there, and I'm not sure they all work in harmony in the kind of game that so someone that wants kind of like an action RPG might not appreciate some of the other mechanics that are in this.
And likewise, for someone who would be looking for like a weaving based puzzle game, might not be like, I don't want boss fights.
Exactly. Because I would like sort of like that weaving kind of puzzle game with some narrative, but I don't want to play boss fights. No, not for me.
I guess now this game sold fantastically well. I'm thinking of another game, Bastion. But I will say, like, as an action RPG fan, Bastion, like, just the aesthetic didn't appeal to me at all. I was just like, meh. It took me a long time to finally play it, and I'm glad I did finally play it, because it's a great game. But it was just kind of always in my library, and I just kind of looked at it and like, meh. And a part of that was because it has this kind of not. It just kind of has kind of a happy chibi, I don't know, it's some happy chibi sort of design going on. And that doesn't speak action RPG really. And I think that maybe that's part of the issue why this one didn't sell too much. It's got this beautiful design, but maybe it doesn't appeal to all action or like the majority of action RPG players. Yeah.
Well, it's standing at 96% positive with 27 user reviews, and it's £19.49.
Yeah. I'm glad we had the catch-up list, because I'm adding this to my wish list. I do want to play this, so I had completely forgotten how this game existed. Okie doke. But yeah, it's developed by Follow Feathers, which is based out of Vienna, Austria. Next is Force of Nature 2 Ghostkeeper.
Force of Nature 2 Ghostkeeper offers incredible adventures full of mystery, danger, exploration, and magic. This game combines the genres of survival sandbox, action, adventure, RPG, strategy, and resource management.
That's a lot of genres.
Yeah.
That's an awful lot of genres. So right now it is mixed. It is mixed recently, so I'm curious why. No, is there an English review that'll explain why? Oh, okay. I'll be honest, there's a lot to like this game, but after a while you realize the amount of grind in it is overboard and it needs to be dialed back. On the plus side, the crafting setup and building is really good. I just can't recommend the game that I know after a while I'm going, this is exhausting, with regards to the grind. Okay. It doesn't seem to be like a recent update that's made it. Yeah, it looks like these other two reviews are also kind of mentioning that it's just slow and it just takes a lot of time to get stuff done. Okay. So maybe the initial people who were really sold in on just the grinding experience gave it positive review, and now that as people are jumping into playing it, they're like, ugh, this is so slow kind of thing. I can understand that happening.
Yeah, it's because it starts off at 83% positive with 670 user reviews, which is, is fantastic. And then it's like mixed. It's at 69% with 23 user reviews. That's such a shame. And the latest update was on the 9th of November. But and that's just adding new decorations. There doesn't seem to be like major. It doesn't seem to be like a major update.
In October, the developer posted a blog saying that, no, I haven't abandoned the game. I'm working on multiplayer functionality. Because like apparently people have been kind of saying that like, this is abandonware kind of thing, which that's not good publicity. So it's good that they were like getting ahead of that. Like, no, I haven't abandoned it. But to their credit, they've made 20 updates. I mean, some of them are pretty small, some are more significant. They've made 20 updates since launch, and it sounds like they're going to continue to update it with, even if it's just smaller updates, which, they don't have to do. So I do appreciate that they're keeping that up, but maybe take on some of the feedback where people are complaining that it is super slow. So, yeah. But it's got a nice look to it, a little bit Eurojank, but it's got a nice, it's pleasant. A lot of indie 3D games get off on the wrong foot, but this is kind of, it's pleasant, it's fine looking. So yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Force of Nature 2.
It's £12.39.
Yep, and $15.99, which for a game with this much content is probably a great deal. So I imagine you're going to be playing it quite a bit, albeit I think the grindy aspects, once multiplayers there, might be less of an issue. So, all right. Onwards to Imagine Earth.
I feel a feeling we spoke about this last week.
Did we talk? We did talk about this. Why is this on the list?
Yes, we did.
We did. All right.
Oh dear.
The longest road. Longest road on Earth.
Okay, sorry. Let me bring this up. There we go. A thoughtful and deeply personal title with stripped-down mechanics. The lack of dialogue or text allows you to create your own narrative through your time with 4 characters. Each short story will allow players to be swept away by the haunting lyrics of over 20 original nostalgic songs.
So original music.
Interesting.
That's quite a lot of work. So I am kind of impressed like that, especially if all 20 songs are, good to listen to. So no dialogue though. So you're just kind of trying to interpret what's happening based on the animations. Interactive fiction.
Well, so I suppose what's happening to these people, you can, there's going to be like a very sort of definite things that are happening, and it's like, I suppose you kind of however you feel about that. So maybe someone gets taken away from prison for doing X, Y, and Z, and it's like, how do I feel about that kind of thing, that sort of thing, which I appreciate. It's I kind of like those kind of things, but I have to, without actually playing it, I don't know what I'd be getting into, sort of thing. But there is a free demo, so yeah, I'm very curious. I have put this on my wish list. I'll probably play through it at some point. Sorry,
go ahead.
It is standing at very positive at 89%, with 106 user reviews.
And it's $10 USD. I peeked down on a negative review, and I think there's definitely people don't go into this expecting that there's going to be a ton of point and click and gameplay aspects. There's some, but it's mostly just telling a story. So I think this probably leans more towards the experience category of games. But it does have great pixel art. I do like it, but in principle, when a developer applies like self limitations, like they did only black and white, they did no dialogue, and that's always it. Constraint can often provide interesting results, and I think it definitely did here. So, but yeah, man, check it out.
I'm seeing a lot of people with about two to under 2 hours of gameplay of this. So this is like a very short experience. It is $7.99. I think this is something I'd probably wait for a sale for. Honest. I mean, it's still a cheap price, but it's like if you're just playing nearly 2 hours, you're not even reaching the 2 hour mark, I would want to pay less.
Yeah, under a $5 kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okie doke. So now we are on to this week's hidden gems. There weren't too many this week, except on Thursday for some reason, where all the games came out. But this week we do have some games to talk about, and I'm looking forward to showing you. Starting with the game that came out on November 8th on Monday, Re.Surs.
Re.Surs is a futuristic, story-driven 2D side-scrolling shooter featuring unique heroes with various abilities. Shoot, dash, kick, and hack monsters as you try to uncover the secrets of Re.Surs' dark energy and demons' interdimensional invasion. I'm not sure about the name. Re.Surs.
Yeah.
Re.Surs. It's just, don't like it.
Yeah. So it's re.sur. It's a weird name. But some pixel art games have a criticism of not enough animation. This one, the criticism I've seen from some folks I've talked about it is that it has like too much animation going on, in which like a lot of scenes you're kind of like, wait, what's happening? Where's my character? Like I've seen that criticism where there's a lot of neat stuff here, but it's like animated like Michael Bay did it. So it's like Michael Bay just was like, you know what, I'm just gonna vomit explosions on the screen kind of thing. And there's a lot of that. So, yeah.
I do like how the people are animated. Some of the backgrounds, not so much. Like I've seen one or two scenes. It doesn't look so great. Like it looks like a desert scene or whatever. That doesn't look so great.
Yeah.
But and I think sometimes they've like doubled up on something, and it looks too repetitive to make it look different. It looks kind of weird. But yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. But yeah, with a few caveats.
Yeah. It is priced pretty well though. At 10% off, it is currently $7.19, which is certainly not a criminal price.
Yeah, £5.21, and that's till for the next 21 hours, and it is 100% positive with 22 user reviews.
Yeah, it's developed by VidyGames. It's their first game on Steam. So yeah, and they developed on the Unity engine apparently. Ooh, and it's a solo game dev, which that's pretty impressive. I think the aspect of it being a solo game dev though is that without having additional input, they might have gone a little bit far in some areas, but still really impressive that this is their first game on Steam. Okay, Tuesday, November 9th, is a game, The Sin Collector: Repentless, based on a book, actually, a Polish novel.
The Sin Collector: Repentless is a game on the border of a visual novel and a classic text RPG. Set in the world of The Sin Collector, a series of books written by Miguel Galoshki. Sorry, I butchered your name.
I think maybe. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Action takes place a couple of years before the events presented in the books.
So it's a prequel for the books. Interesting. So in essence, from what I understand, basically like you're like the main characters been sent down from heaven to basically like exact judgment on the sinners. And yeah, I'm kind of curious. It's got this kind of apocalyptic setting. There's a lot of stuff going on. There also seems to be some like something's up with time because there's like ancient Roman soldiers as well as like modern military. It's all mixed up, so it's very strange looking. So really interesting setting and such. The art looks okay. I'm just kind of wondering how heavily visual novel it is. Is there any animated scenes or anything? I don't think so.
Right, and looks like there's some cutscenes though, a few cutscenes. But yeah, it looks quite nice. I have to say, it looks quite nice, and but yeah, this isn't my type of visual novel that I usually go for. There are certain things that, like the text box and everything, that kind of make it look a little bit bland. I don't know. I think there's certain things they could have improved on. But yeah, it is standing at 97% positive with 40 user reviews, and it's 10% off right now for the next 45 hours at £10.25.
Yep. Yeah. So and it's developed by Sylen Studio. And it's their first game on Steam.
I'm just wondering how long is it? Because I've seen anything from like 9 to 3 hours. Quite a few people have like got 3 hours clocked in, but quite a few have got a bit more as well. So
yeah.
I do wonder.
And of course, I wonder how much choice affects it as well, which there does seem to be quite a bit of choice. So maybe there's replay value. So, but yeah, that is The Sin Collector. It's $13.49 USD. Wednesday, November 10th.
Pavel would like to know more about the story or the gameplay for it.
Yeah, I would like to know. I'd have to like read the books maybe. But I do
Yeah,
like the setting.
yeah. It says it's like a choose your own adventure
Hmm.
kind of thing. So I would be curious because I've played quite a few choose your own adventure type games, where that is kind of like just the main mechanic of it, and I would wonder if there's like certain choices you make that puts it into sort of like a fail state, because I've played games like that before as well, and you have to start over from the beginning, and it's like, so yeah, I would be curious as to
Hmm.
what the setup, what kind of mechanics, how much of a choose your own adventure this is.
Yeah, and if it is a
Yeah.
replayable one, like do they have like fast forward mechanics or like checkpoint mechanics, that kind of stuff? Yep.
Mm.
All right. So next up, there is no light 616, which now that I'm looking at it, might be like a oh yeah, it is. It's a it is a prequel or
Oh,
of some sort to the full game. There is no light. So yeah, all right.
okay. Battle your way through the horrors and face the greater threats of these miserable lands. There is no light 616 is a free version of the action adventure. There is no light with 3 locations, a boss fight, and an exclusive arena mode.
Okay, so it does have something that's unique to it and separate
Mm.
from the main game. Interesting. Uh, I again very similar to the last game. It's got a very dark aesthetic. Lots of lots of creepy kind of both religious and mystical imagery, occult stuff. Oh, this feels like it should have come out in Halloween actually, and maybe I
Yeah.
bet they were trying to, considering it came out November 10th. But they were trying for Halloween. But yeah.
Again, it's one of those games that certain parts of it look spectacular,
Hmm.
look really nice. Like the boss fight looks really nice, and the other parts look a bit not so great. but overall, it does. I like that sort of occult aesthetic. It's
Hmm.
quite nice.
Let me see. I'm curious. Do they? I'm gonna. This is the trailer for the full game, which does not have a release date yet. So it could be quite a while before the full game comes out. So, but if you just want to preview, I do like the preview system that folks do, where it's like a full separate game. It's kind of like demos, but
But at the same time, we had seen one, what do we call it, the detective game,
yeah,
Backbone,
Backbone. Yeah.
and it would the prequel was like so good, really really good, and then the full game came out and everyone was like, what the hell is this?
Hmm.
It's gone completely off the rails.
Yeah.
So yeah, can go wrong, can go wrong.
It can go wrong. So just really hope if you put out a preview and it's amazing, you better make sure the rest of your game is equally as good, at least. So
Yeah. Well, this is standing at 80% positive with 105 user reviews.
only 80% for free game. Let me see. What's the negatives? They're all in Russian. Let me see. Okay. I don't know if it's just for the demo, but the combat doesn't make much sense to me. The way weapons work, it's not explained. Okay. All right. So there's a criticism about the combat, which okay, that might be why. Maybe it's not very similar to other top-down combat games. And they do advertise it as a Souls-like, so if you really want to get a tough crowd, put on Souls-like in your tags. So, yep. And that is There Is No Light 616. Onwards to Thursday, November 11th, the big release day, starting with Hyper Echelon.
The Scion Galaxy is in peril. Your trusty little starfighter and ragtag squad of wingmen are the only hope against the evil Exodon. Level up from a pea shooter to an offensive powerhouse as you engage in frantic combat across many wondrous locales.
Yep. So shmups come out like every week, and I usually do not include shmups, shoot 'em ups, the shmup genre. I do not usually include them because shmups, having known a little bit about game design, like shmups are not actually that hard to make. And so a lot of them can be very asset flippy or just have really bad aesthetic, and it's like really narrow. There has to be an extensive progression system, and all I'm trying to say is I'm very picky about shmups. This one seemed to tick most of the boxes. It looks aesthetically pleasing for the most part. It's got a lot of variety to the enemies and to the weapon types that you can get. And it seems like it actually has a lot of unique assets. So I wasn't going like, this is from this other game, or this looks just like this other thing. So yeah, that's why I included that this week. But there's a lot of shmups on Steam, and most of them are not good. But this one might be worth your time.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. There's some really nice artwork done in it, and although there's only 6 user reviews, it is 15% off till the 17th of November, and that's £13.16.
Yep. So yeah, if you're a shmup fan, don't sleep on this one. I think this one's very much worth checking out. So it's going on my wish list as a fan and a very picky fan of shmups. I think this one's a good one. So, right. Next is Treasures of the Aegean.
What happened to the Minoan civilization? Join parkour master Marie Taylor and treasure hunter James Andrew in a historical action thriller as they unravel the secrets of a forgotten kingdom which has been tragically trapped in an endless time loop. That last sentence, I'm not sure.
Yeah, they misspelled "an" with "and," so trapped in and endless time loop. No, it's trapped in an endless time loop. Check, have an editor check.
Oh my god, godless Reeve. So bad.
Unfortunately, yeah, I guess I do know that from like personal experience, knowing someone. Yeah. Yep. There's definitely been some of that up in the Pacific Northwest. So, yeah. Good. Guys, we've been coming in just savaging your filter. Welcoming aboard. So, this game looks very interesting. My only thing is like I wish it was pixel art rather than this kind of weird comic book. Maybe I'm just biased because it is well done. It's a well done comic book style.
No, I agree with you that I think it is one of those comic book styles that makes everything look flat.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so either they need a ton more texture going on or something, because it's just it looks too clean. Also, wasn't Mary Taylor, that's a historic, like I'm trying to think who was Mary Taylor in history. It's just it's fairly, I'm probably gonna think of it after the show. It's like Mary Taylor, she's famous or infamous for something. I mean, it's two very common names though.
It's gonna torture you.
It is.
But it is standing at 100% positive with 11 user reviews, and it's 10% off until the 18th of November at £15.29. I'm just wondering how long this is. One of its criticisms. It says it has a time loop adventure, atmospheric soundtrack, hundreds of treasures to discover, European comic book art style, puzzle solving, parkour gameplay, historic thriller narrative.
Yep. Yeah, and it does seem to have it's got some cutscenes, it's got some like comic book storytelling, so they are leaning into their art style. If they're going to use it, and even though I don't like it, the fact that they did kind of lean into the theme, That's very good. I like that. So, but it's I don't know. I'm kind of curious if I would be into the sort of parkour stuff. I don't know.
It seen people with around about 5 to 7 hours of gameplay on this. So yeah.
Oh, these are the developers of Mail Mole and Super Epic.
Oh.
Oh. Okay. Now I'm a little bit more interested. Just because I know that they're developed Undercoders. I'm familiar with a couple of the other works. I haven't played either of those other ones, but we have featured them on the show before, and at the very least, that makes me kind of have a bit more confidence that this game might be really fun. So, because they're an experienced dev. Yeah, Tales of the Aegean. You can pick it up for 10% off right now for $17.99 USD. Yep. Hope it all depends on how long or fun the game is. So
yeah.
All right. Onwards to Slice of Sea.
Slice of Sea is a peaceful adventure and puzzle game. You play as Seaweed, a sea creature clearly out of their element. Explore desolate world of dust, all hand-drawn on paper in unique art style. Collect items, solve puzzles, and lead Seaweed back home to the sea. I like that. Oh my god, it's they're kind of like, they are kind of cute. The character is kind of cute.
It's got a really classical puzzle game, like just set up like it's at least from the mechanics and from the art style, just a very classically puzzle game. So
see, this is like the kind of texture sort he's talking about, where it's still got that kind of like comic book style, but it doesn't look like everything is on a single plane.
Yeah, texturing and shading. That's what Treasures of the Aegean really needed, and yeah, this is great.
Now this is standing out 100% positive with 67 user reviews, and it is 10% off till the 18th of November at £17.54. It's a bit on the pricey side.
Yeah, $22.49. Yeah, that it is. It's developed by solo dev Mateusz Skutnik. It's his first game on Steam, so like that price I'm expecting for a developer of like say if the developer of Mercenarium came out with a new game, I could very much see him dropping it for like $25 kind of thing, because he knows people will pay for it. Mateusz Skutnik, I've not heard of this guy before. He just got some followers on Twitter, but I was just like, I don't know. Is this? I wouldn't have priced for me. I wouldn't have priced it as my first game. Like I would probably be closer to $15 or $10.
Yeah, and it seems to be between 5 and 8 hours long.
Yeah.
Someone says a few cons. A couple of puzzles are a little too obscure, the hints being maybe too hard to find. Some background access to areas is not communicated well enough to the player, leading to the player not aware of some locations as well. So yeah. Apparently someone said they looked this guy up, and it says like it's written online that one of their inspirations is Machinarium and
wow.
That's good. Yeah.
I guessed correctly, because I was like, Machinarium, yeah, I definitely see the Machinarium influence here. But it's different if it comes from the developer of Machinarium as opposed to inspired by. So I just don't know if it's worth $25 at full price. But so far, it's pretty positively rated.
It's something that I would definitely wait for a hefty sale before I pick it up. I mean, it's like 5 to 8 hours. So it's a bit too pricey. A bit too pricey for me.
Yep. So yeah, that is Slice of the Sea. And check it out. It's Mateusz Skutnik's first game on Steam. Next up is A Pretty Odd Bunny.
A Pretty Odd Bunny is a stealth platformer about a rabbit who likes eating pigs. You play as a red-eyed rabbit and help him reach the pig at the end of every level. But don't let your fellow bunnies see you. They will do everything they can to stop you. What? What is this game? Oh my god!
It's got such like a. I mean, it's interesting because normally I'd be like, oh, I don't know if this art style works very well for a plat because it's so flat looking, but like it's just like such a strange premise. It kind of works.
It's disguised itself as a pig.
Yep.
Oh my god!
It's really cute.
But it's like at the same time so simplistic as well. Very simplistic art style. It's so weird. It looks so weird. I feel like some of it looks like a lot of things have just been thrown in, and then they've made this like narrative. There's like, yeah, there's this pig at the end that you get to eat.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird.
But yeah, so Godless keeps saying it has a game maker tutorial aura. Very strange. I can definitely see that. I don't know if it was made in Game Maker or not, but I'm looking at the assets and none of them are like particularly complex. But even with that, the color theory and the I don't know, the design, like the theme all fits together pretty well. But it's so funny. A Pretty Odd Bunny, yeah. And it's only $5.
Yeah, 10% off right now till the 18th of November for £4.49. Unfortunately, there's only one user review.
It's 10% off here in the US and it's $4.49. Yep.
So it's the same price.
It's the same price. They're not adjusting for local currencies.
Rude.
So rude.
There's 80 levels in 4 unique worlds.
Mm-hmm. So it's a pretty big platformer. Platformer plus stealth. It's developed by Ordaz Games. I think that's a solo dev, but it's pretty impressive that he got published by Two Awesome Studio, and just it seems like a really cool break for a first game. So. Okay. Next, from really simple looking to very, very high def, bright memory infinite. Wow. Looking at it's like bright infinite. It's like one of those memes because it's like bright infinite memory, bright memory infinite.
But I think the first one you said, I think that actually sounds better.
Yeah, bright infinite memory. Yeah, it does.
Oh dear. Well, anyway, Bright Memory Infinite is an all-new lightning-fast fusion of the FPS and action genres, created by FYQD-Studio, combined a wide variety of skills and abilities to unleash dazzling combo attacks.
Mm-hmm. So let me see, this is just like the graphical, like, gameplay, there we go. Alright, so, they're just showing like, oh, RTX makes it look even prettier, but anyhow. Here is the actual combat. It looks pretty fun, honestly. I do occasionally like to jump in on a shooter, and this one's got a pretty neat kind of history to it because it's been the previous game released quite a while ago. But yeah, so yeah, it's got a really beautiful aesthetic. Most 3D games don't have this nice look, but I think they have a pretty big team, actually. FYQD-Studio. I think their team's actually pretty big. So, very impressive.
Nice. Yeah, and it's standing at very positive at 92%, with over 10,000 user
I
reviews.
did not have 10,000 reviews when I added it to the list. Holy crap!
Wow.
All right, well they're not really a hidden gem then, because when I first looked at it, it was like, oh wow, there's only like 50 or 150 reviews on this. Wow. Well, no, it's like 10,000, so it definitely picked up. Yep. So congrats to Bright Memory Infinite or Bright Infinite Memory. Yes.
Well, yeah. This is £15.49. Yeah. Is this a double A game?
It might be. Yeah, it's $20.99, but $19.99, $20. Yeah, I think it is more of a double A game, but I'm just FYQD. Their previous game is Bright Memory. They only have 2 games, so it's Bright Memory and Bright Memory Infinite. But just this game, so it's developed by a South Korean team, I believe. South Korea is not a cheap place to live. And this game's $20. We've talked about other games today that are a lot more than $20 that I don't think had as much of a budget. So I'm just some of the pricings are a little off, I think, for some games, but this is very impressive.
Another thing about some of the games that I play, I think maybe Unpacking, I wasn't sure. Another one, they actually got assistance from like an arts council or something, and they still charge so much money. That's something that annoys me a lot. If
you got some taxpayer dollars and you're charging a ton. Yeah,
exactly. Crime. Yeah. It's a crime, I tell you.
Crime. All right, but that is Bright Memory. Check it out. It's 92% positive, so if you like shooters, you'll probably be into that. Next, we have Alchemic Cutie.
Alchemic Cutie is a wholesome, relaxing RPG set on a colourful Wimbo island. While taming wild jellies, you'll meet villagers, enter jelly competitions, and uncover the secrets of the island. This is so cute, but I worry that some of the the places that you're exploring or whatever, there's not too much there. Like some of it might be a bit barren.
Yeah, some of the environments look pretty sparse.
Yeah.
This is another one of those Stardew Valley likes, I believe, but it's got a decent aesthetic where it's not quite as good. It's just some of the levels look very, very sparse. Sometimes you don't need it to be like a huge area, if you just don't have that much stuff to put there. So, but there's definitely parts I'm like, oh, that's really nice, but.
Yeah, I like your little booklet that you and the design of that and everything, and I like the little slimes. They're so cute, the little jellies. But I'm very curious about this. I put it on my added it to my wish list, but definitely wait for like a big sale for this, because I'm not sure what how much there is to this actual game, to the actual gameplay. It is 10% off right now at £14.39, and that ends on the 18th of November. So it says a whole island ready to explore that changes with the seasons. Over 4,000 possible jellies with lots of items to find and quests to do. Befriend a village of cute, odd, and wholesome characters. Engaging jelly raising and alchemy systems for you to master. Fun jelly competitions to win medals. Modding support coming soon. Jelly sharing via special codes coming soon.
Wow. So they intend to keep on doing development work on it. So let me see. It came out on the 12th. And since then, they did patch 1.10, 1.11. Okay, so they've done 3 patches that are just fixing bugs. So it looks like they've fixed 10 bugs so far. So that's a good thing to see. It's only been a few days, and they're staying on issues that have been found. Huge kudos to them doing seasonal changes, like actually changing the whole map for that. I mean, a lot of games in this genre do that, but you're basically making the same map 4 times. So that's a lot of work. So I always appreciate it when developers do that, because I think it's I do kind of get tired of RPGs where the world just stays so super static even though time is passing. And yeah, having that whole seasons and day-night cycle and weather, those are all things that I think mitigate the fact that some of the environments look a little bland. The fact that they added all that additional richness kind of helps bring it up a bit. The developer Vakio, it's their first game. The other developer, Viridian Software, also first game. So, So it's like 2 developers that's their first game that work together. Interesting. Alchemic Cutie. So you can pick it up for $17.99 USD at 10% off right now. Okay, onwards to the second to last game of November 11th, Punk Wars.
Our civilization has fallen. From the ashes, 4 new powers emerge. Immerse yourself in a combat-heavy twist on a classic turn-based 4-time strategy where steam, steel, atom, and diesel punk corporations clash to spread their technology and the way of life.
Well, I mean, that's just unfair. Like, the atom punk is going to win. It's like, we have nuke.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Steampunk's not going to stand a chance. Interesting. That's kind of a strange premise when you kind of know who the winner is. Anyhow, I'm sure like Steampunk comes up with some really crazy ideas. Steampunk must have like access to magic or something. Anyhow, it's cool. I think the environments are pretty well done. I'm still trying to... I think I saw the UI and I was not keen on some of the UI. Where is the UI? Okay, the UI is not that terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like in the corner in the bottom. It looks quite nice. There's yeah, I like some of the UI.
And it is turn-based. I'm very bad at 4X games when there's kind of a live action aspect to it. But when it's turn-based, that's a lot more tempting to me. I am kind of curious. Are there any levels that aren't brown though?
yeah, there's a hell of a lot of brown.
There's a lot of brown. Or like, can you turn them green with farms or something? Because this is very brown.
Let's see. Take control of one of the 4 powerful corporations, Steampunk, Dieselpunk, Atompunk, or Steelpunk, and use its unique skill set to lead it to glory. Explore the mysteries of a ruined post-apocalyptic megacity. Level up your units and engage in fierce battles that will challenge your tactical sense. Grow your scientific, industrial, and military infrastructure, creating advanced supply chains. Seek, garner, and wisely use scarce resources. Unite humanity and lead it to the new era of peace and prosperity.
Yeah, that looks pretty fun. So, Punk Wars. You can pick it up. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. It's starting at 78% positive with 32 user reviews. And as you're saying, it's 10% off right now to the 18th of November at £13.94. What's the criticisms?
$17.99. Yeah, I am kind of curious about that. Let me see. Tutorial works like a mission. Okay, the tutorial's good. While this doesn't sound too bad, the tutorial isn't enough in the slightest. Going into your first match, you'll notice endless mechanics and buildings which weren't explained at all. All in all, the tutorial is insufficient. Okay. The campaign is more like a skirmish mode and does not do justice to the name campaign. You would think there are scenarios or missions to beat, but well, there aren't. After winning a match with every faction, you unlock a new map for skirmish. Happenings. Whenever you discover the ruins, a new city, a faction, etc., there are happenings based on your answer. You will get buffs and debuffs. The thing is, it doesn't tell you what buffs or debuffs you get beforehand. You also can't guess what will happen based on your answer most of the time. It's a nice little feature and spices things up, but I would like to see the results of my answers beforehand. Okay, so the good, and let's look at the good is the graphics are nice, the lore is good, it adds a lot of atmosphere. But the bad, tutorial is insufficient. All right, first match will be overwhelming. The performance is bad. I've played the game on my desktop and my laptop. While my laptop meets the recommended specs, my desktop is way above those. Still, on both machines, I couldn't get 60 FPS. Loading times are fine, though. The text isn't fully finished translated, at least when playing the German version. It sometimes says something along the lines, color green, parentheses, etc. Steam Cloud doesn't work. Steam Cloud saves don't work. Ooh.
So it's mainly like what a lot of people have complained about is the tutorial. I think if you're going into a game and you're trying to get to grasps with it, if you're the first stumbling block is the tutorial, that's not great for your game. You really need to have a fun, robust tutorial.
Yeah, they're saying also that like the it should probably have an early access tag right now. But I mean, granted, early access tag, I'm not a huge fan of early access. For some games it works, but it's like the necessary evil sometimes. But I don't see it as a fix. But yeah, that's Punk Wars. Onwards to Epic Chef.
Get ready to embark on a comedic culinary quest unlike any other as you take on the role of Zest in this story-driven adventure game. From humble beginnings, you'll build a farm, grow delectable ingredients, craft machinery, and cook your way to becoming the most epic chef in Ambrosia.
Is this the coming of the story-based restaurant game?
Oh my god, it could be. This could be it.
It could be. It's very positive with 86%.
I don't know. I don't know if the farming though is putting me off. Because it's like I kind of like it's like what do I want to focus on? Is farming or cooking? It depends how grindy the farming is as well.
Yeah.
Or like how many ingredients do you need to like get, or I don't know. I am curious about this though. I'm definitely curious about it. It's standing at 86% positive with 51 user reviews. I'm just having a look. You have. Let's see. Cooking Master Chef. You'll combine ingredients, stirring, tossing with culinary precision to bring out the flavor elements of vigor, sophistication, and spirit in your dishes. This forms the core of the cooking experience that you must master in order to become the very best chef in Ambrosia. Oh no, so it's a bit like Cooking Mama then. I mean, you got to add all the ingredients and do stirring or do cooking. I don't know. Cooking Mama is so some of it's great, some of it's fun, but it wasn't something I would want to play for hours on end.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like maybe pick it up for like 20 minutes or something.
And reviewers are describing this as a pretty grindy game. And one even mentioned like it's not as good as My Time at Portia, but it's pretty good. I'm like, yeah, My Time at Portia was pretty good, but it takes a while to get to each main story point. So, yeah, this would probably be a pretty long game, and if you're not into like the Cooking Mama game style, that might get really annoying. But
grindy element also like really puts me off too. So yeah, it's just because certain elements of games are fun. Like some people really like Cooking Mama, some people like the Farming of Stardew Valley, some people like cooking games. Just putting them all together to say this is going to be a super fun game, it doesn't actually work out that way.
Yeah. But I mean, this one thing I'm seeing is that this game does seem to have a lot of story content based on like all the cutscenes that have been shown off, the different like environments. Like there seems to be a lot of content in this game. So even I've not found any reviews that have said they finished the game. Let me see.
So yeah, it's probably going to take a while, and it has just come out. It's coming out a few days ago.
Yeah. So there's reviews with over 13 or 16 hours that are saying like, yeah, I think I'm gonna finish this game, and it's like, you're not finished with it yet. Yeah, it's pretty long then. So
well, that's good because it's 20% off right now till the 18th of November at $15.99. It's not bad price at all. With a discount, full price it's 20 quid. I don't know if I paid 20 quid.
Yep. But it'll I think there's players who are really looking for this type of game who might there seems to be an audience, but I don't know if it'll be a very big audience. All right. On to their final day, Friday, November 12th, Candy Disaster Tower Defense.
Candy Disaster is a 3D tower defense game that combines traps with strategy to stop the candy zombies. Adventure to different plants, mix and match any traps with your strategy to create brand new combinations. Dozens of clever combinations to discover.
So, okay. I do like it. I do like it. So like the aesthetic where it's like, oh, there's all these guys coming, and it's just like, let's just dismember them and electrocute them. That's very funny. How funny.
The candy zombies.
So are they trying to get to your candy, or are they like zombies made of candy?
Well, they don't look like they're made of candy. They look like people from the cutscene anyway. It looks like they're actual people, but
No.
So maybe they're after your candy.
Yeah, you would play Jick the Mad Scientist to help Mysterious Friend collect the M89KD energy candies scattered on different planets. Wow. During your journey, you will meet many foreign enemies who attempt to obtain the candies for themselves. However, your wit and wisdom will help. Oh, wow. Okay, so the plot line doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
This is just a tower defense game. Just accept it. There does seem to be quite a lot of like planets and environments and stuff going on though, so that's impressive. And it's mostly positive at 91%, or very positive. And the recent reviews are saying 75%, but with 96 and 12 reviews recently.
It is 15% off till the 19th of November at £9.34.
Yeah, that's not bad. $11.89 USD. On to our final game of the week, Gigapocalypse.
Become a customizable giant monster with manifold skills in Gigapocalypse. Inspired by classical kaiju movies such as Godzilla and King Kong and the game classic Rampage.
Yep. So you basically just destroy cities, which I mean, who doesn't want to do that sometimes? So it's got a bit of that animation style where it's like paper puppets kind of thing. Boss fights. There does seem to be quite a variety of like game types going on here.
Yeah. there's very like inconsistent kind of artwork going on in it. There's some bits, again, some of these that some bits like look quite nice and other bits like look absolutely awful, but oh dear.
But it's also like, it seems the setup is you're just always moving in one direction in the normal gameplay. There seems to be some other mini games in the game as well, but for the most part, you're just walking forward and just destroying things as you go.
Yeah, the side-scrolling bit, that's has some of the worst artwork going in it.
It seems like a how would I describe this? Like, have you ever played on Congregate or like different Flash games? This feels like a Flash game.
Yeah.
A very fleshed out Flash game, which, can be very fun. But that's kind of what it feels like. It does have a free demo, and it's only $6.69 right now with 33% off. Its regular price is $10.
Yeah, and it's standing at 95% positive with 44 user reviews, or more recently, 90% positive with 11 user reviews. So, it's people that have picked it up seem to think it's pretty fun. And as you said, it's got a free demo, so if you play that, I guess you know what you're getting into.
9 gigas with unique abilities and skill trees, 6 beautifully detailed stages based on Earth's past, present, and future timeline, themed enemies and buildings, epic and hilarious boss fights, unlockable minions, skills, and mutations, extra quests and secrets to unlock with more abilities for your monsters, fast-paced arcade action, satisfying visual destruction, heavy metal soundtrack, and Razor Chroma support. Oh, wow. Okay. That's a lot of extra work. But yeah, so it's developed by Goody Gameworks, and it's their first game on Steam. And of course, there is a free demo for you to check out.
Yeah, as you said, 33% off till the 17th of November at £5.35 or $7.99 full price.
That's right. Flash isn't supported anymore. I don't know what they develop, like what's equivalent to Flash games nowadays. I do wonder. They must have some other preferred engine to run on. Anyhow, but yeah, that's Gigapocalypse. Okie doke. And that's all of our games for this week. Wow.
Yay.
So the question now is, what was the very best game of this week? And of course, folks in chat, let us know what your opinions are as well.
Yeah, this has been a difficult week for one of the catch-up games and the releases this week. It's been a bit of a slow week. But I would say on the catch-up list, I'm only going to pick one this week, and that's going to be The Longest Road on Earth. It seems like a very interesting premise, but I think I would only pick it up when it's like got a massive discount on it. It just it doesn't seem to be very long, and it's very kind of like a walking sim almost. There's not really too much point and click elements to it, and you're just kind of like watching the story unfold for all these different people. So yeah, I'd probably pick that up. Massive discount. And then, so the two that I'm interested in this week. So one definitely has to be Slice of Sea. That's just really, really beautiful artwork. And of course it's Machinarium. I am curious about it, but again, it's I feel like another game that's been overpriced.
Yeah.
So yeah, another discount. I'm gonna wait for another discount. So this is the thing, is I'll put a lot of these games on my wish list, and then I won't maybe pick them up till the following year when I feel like I can afford them really, or when I feel this is the right price to sort of pay for it. And the other one is Alchemic Cutie. It seems like interesting, but it's not only would I wait for the discount, I also want to wait for like if the developer's going to add anything to it. You know, of course, sort out any bugs and everything, because it's you know, because it's standing up mixed right now. So I think the developer needs to work on a few things to bring it up to standard, sort of thing. I think.
Yeah, I'm glad that the developer has been doing patches and such. But yeah, it's there's clearly some stuff that needs to be worked on. But that's cool. Alchemic Cutie. All right, so mine, from the Catchup list, I think my first choice, well, my only choice really, is Weaving Tides. I think just thematically, it's very pretty to me, and I would not at all mind just trying it out, because it seems to be a lot of, you know, practicing design, like making designs, and you know, the puzzles seem to be all about doing something that is making something beautiful on the tapestry in order to progress the game. I think that's a pretty cool idea. So I want to check out Weaving Tides very much.
See, that would be something I would pick up if it didn't have boss fights.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I feel like that's going to really affect the pacing a lot, where it's like, oh, some of it's just it's really pretty, you're just doing designs, and then suddenly it's, oh, okay, now I've got to do designs and dodge a boss. Great, okay. So, but yeah, that's Weaving Tides by Follow Feathers, based on Vienna. And from this week, it's a bit of a harder choice this week, but I think of the games this week, I would pick Hyper Echelon. As a big shmup fan, it's uncommon that I see a shmup that feels worth my time, and this one definitely feels like it, so looks great. And there's some like honorable mentions, like Bright Memory Infinite, Treasures of the Aegean, and Pretty Odd Bunny. Those all seem pretty neat, but I think Hyper Echelon is just a league ahead of them as far as my personal interest. And yeah, Godless Weave agrees. Hyper Echelon. Yep.
Nice.
So, yeah. With that, that's our best of the week. Wow, I can't talk. Best of the week. It's been a while. Okay. And so we're gonna go up before we sign off to YouTube. Rody, let us know where the internet can find you.
You can find me on twitch.tv/RodyPie, where I'll be playing more FMV games and maybe a few point and click games, but you know, always in for a narrative good time. Although I have been thinking about doing like relaxo streams where I just play something like we made a zoo. What was it? We let's build a zoo.
Oh, let's build a zoo. Yeah.
Yeah, just play it because I do have a lot of like city builder type games. So it'd be nice to just have a relaxo game of playing that.
And the nice thing about those is that like they take so long to play that, you know, when you're out of like the shorter games you want to play that night, it's like, well, okay, I've got this backup game. Like if you start playing a game and it takes an hour and it's like, well, I want to keep streaming, so it's just a good thing to have.
Oh, Day said you should totally do that.
Yes. I want to see Brody make cities, and that'll be fun. All right. As for me, you can find me next week here on. Well, let me see. Let me double check next week. I think it's fine. Yeah. Next week's fine. That's right. I was like, wait, Thanksgiving's next week, but Thanksgiving's on a Thursday, so it's not going to be a problem. So yeah, we'll be back next week with another guest with a guest, and hopefully I'm going to verify with them. But yeah, so and with that, have a great day, everyone. Bye YouTube, and please like and subscribe.
Hit a like and
Bye-bye.
subscribe. Bye.